Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing in something brand new from Huda Beauty. These are the matte and metal melted shadows. So on one side we have a matte shadow and it's liquid, and on the other side we have a metallic shimmery shade. So I picked up 3 of these, Silk Bomber and Bubblegum. It's a purpley shade. I also have Bubble Bath and Pink Champagne, which is one of the more nude shades, and then the last one felt like it just had to get this one. It's like that red saucy. It's Hot Sauce and Cherry Soda. So what I'm going to do, give you guys the information. I'm going to apply these how they're suggested to be applied individually, each eye, so you can see how they perform just like a normal look. And then I do this full look using, I think, all 3 of these so you can see how they perform together. After that, I will give you guys my review. I did a wear test. I didn't show you guys the wear test, but I did wear them all day to see if they would crumble off my eyes or anything like that. So let's get into the details on these. There's 5 different duos and they each retail for $25 a piece. I'm reading from the Huda Beauty website, but I bought mine from Sephora.com. So it's a dual-ended liquid shadow combining a rich velvety matte formula on one side and an all over the top sparkly on the other. Designed to be layered or used on their own, the dual-ended matte and metal shadows deliver rich pigmentation, intense shimmer, blendability, and longevity. The shadows stay in place for up to 12 hours. The velvety soft matte shadows bring a richly saturated color pigment that is both easy to blend and build with a finger or using a brush. The powder finish holds oil absorbing properties that help keep the shadows in place longer without creasing or fading. The metal shadows bring quick dry properties to a high class glitter formula, ensuring a smudge proof, shiny, and sparkling finish. Lightweight and easy to apply, the paintbrush like applicator allows for precise application to control the glitter intensity and is perfect for liner looks. The metallic formula dries down smoothly to ensure your eyeshadow look is fit for whatever fun you get up to. And then there's also suggested ways to use each of the sides. So I'm just going to leave that here on the screen for a second, as well as Huda's already explained her way of applying them. What I am going to do is take each of these and I'm going to put them onto my eyes. I'm not setting my base, but I found that I don't like these if I apply straight to my lid because I have a veiny lid. You can kind of see through that and I don't like that. So I used my Tarte Shape Tape as a base. I took my finger and kind of tapped off any excess and I made sure that it was set, like completely set before I went in with the shadows. So let's go ahead and get into these one by one, and I'll let you see how they apply. I'm starting off with the matte side of Silk Bomber and Bubblegum, and I'm just putting a little bit, 3 little dots right there. 776 from Delium Tools. I'm going to start on the outer corner first because I don't want too much product on the inner corner, and slowly bring it in. And I do have my eye, it isn't set, but I do have the Tarte Shape Tape in order to create a base for this. I did this without a base and I just didn't like it. I felt like it was harder for the product to move around, but I haven't tried it with the base yet, so it's already seeming to be a little bit easier. Want a little circular motions. Bringing the excess to the inner corner so I don't have like a whole lot of purple right here. And just so you guys know, this is a synthetic brush. It's not a natural hairbrush. So I feel like when my eye is open, like you can't really see any kind of patchiness, but I do see just a little bit. So I'm going to go in one more time, just adding a small amount. I'm going to try tapping this into place this time, concentrating on the outer V, bring it right here. As you can see, I'm just tapping, 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 tapping. And then right around the edges, I will blend in circles. I am very lightly with the excess from the brush, just going right around the edges, like I'm barely touching my skin. And that's what that looked like. So it's still just like a little bit patchy right in here, but it's not terrible. Of course, I'm not up close either. Now I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to paint this on the lid, and that's going to cover up some of where it's patchy right there anyway. Go right over it. So there's bubblegum, and it did transfer up just a little bit, and I feel like it's not completely even, but I'm going to try it with a brush later. I don't particularly love that applicator. I do want to see if I can deepen up this outer corner with the purple again. I'm just going to tap right over that. Now on this side, I'm going to try out hot sauce and cherry soda. I'm going to do the same thing. Hot sauce first. I'm not using very much product. Clean 776. I just wanted to point out that the reason I'm using a synthetic brush instead of a natural hair is because I am working with a cream product, and a cream product will work better usually with a synthetic brush because natural hairs can soak up the product and make it harder to blend the product out, whereas a synthetic brush is not going to soak up the product and will move it around a bit better. I already feel like this shade was much smoother, easier to apply, blending a little bit easier than that purple one did. And I really like this color. Now for the cherry soda side. I'm going to add just a little bit more of hot sauce right on the outer corner once more, just like I did over here. Tapping motions. Lastly, pink champagne and bubble bath. Bubble bath in the crease. It's a much lighter shade. Linda Hallberg 304. Now I feel like I can kind of just go wild with this one because it's such a light shade. I'm gonna add just a little bit, well, probably a lot more. Only because it's so light. I'm gonna press this in a little bit more, then blending. And then just kind of move it around. I do like this though, for like a real natural color. It's really pretty. And now pink champagne. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. So there's that one. I'm not going to try and apply the color to the outer corner because it's so light, but there is pink champagne and bubble bath. And now that you have seen all three of these individually, I'm going to show you this look with them put together. And I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the difficulties, which ones I found to be a little bit easier, all of the things right after we do this tutorial. I'm starting this look off with the shade Bubble Bath in the crease. And again, I do not have my eye set, and I am using more than normal, like the 3 dots, because I know already from testing this that this shade is not really dark. So I knew I could get away with just kind of lining it. And this is a Linda Hallberg 304. synthetic, of course, and I'm just blending this upwards, kind of using it as my transition shade. Now I'm going to take the shade Hot Sauce and dab a little bit of that right on the outer corner of my eye. And then 776 Delium Golden Triangle. First I'm going to tap that into place, and then I'm going to kind of work it into the crease. I'm going to try tapping this as well. Yeah, kind of tapping to blend when you have the excess off helps. I'm just dragging it up just slightly further and further as I know there's less and less amount of product on my brush, and that's blending it out really easily. I'm going to go in once more, same method, and I'm going to bring it in just a little bit further on the lid. Now I'm going to go back and forth little windshield wiper motions to blend out the edge. Taking that same shade along the lower lash line, but I don't want to apply the product there first. I applied it to the brush first so that I didn't get too much. And this is a Golden Triangle Delium 780. Again, another synthetic brush. I'm just going back and forth. I just don't want a harsh line, and I don't want too much product laid down. So I barely picked anything up. Now I'm going in with the shade Bubblegum, but I'm taking it on my MAC 242. This is from the Purple Duo. I just want this to be a little bit more precise and a thinner layer of it. I'm just going all over the lid, tapping over the edge of the last shade. Wiping off the excess of cherry soda, I'm going to apply that right to the front part of the lower lash line. And then I'm going to add pink champagne to the front inner corner. I'm going in with the highlighter that I'm wearing today from the Malika and Chloe. This is the Chloe palette. I'm going to highlight my brow arch. I'm also going to go right on the front part of that last shade we did to kind of bring it all together and not make it look so rounded right there. Now I'm going to show you guys a few little tests that I did. So I took each of these and I put them on this area of my hand. I waited about 20 minutes. I wanted to see if they were waterproof and if I could run some water over them and if they would budge. So I let them sit, and then you can see I ran them underneath the sink water, just back and forth, and you can see none of them moved. And then I just took a piece of toilet paper and then pressed it over top. And the only one that came up a little bit was the matte red from the cherry soda and hot sauce. So it was actually hot sauce that picked up a little bit, but that to me says that if you were to cry with these on, I wouldn't, like say you did a wing with hot sauce or something, as long as you didn't actually tap it and you left it alone, you would be fine. Usually you get in trouble whenever you start tapping things whenever they're wet. So I would say that these are pretty waterproof, but they are certainly not budge proof whenever it comes to the shimmers up top. So after each of the single looks I did, I took my finger and went back and forth. These flake off very easily, except for the lightest shade, which is Pink Champagne and Bubble Bath. That one I found to be the longest lasting on the lid, even whenever I was wearing them separately. So I wore these around and they do kind of crumble, especially the purple one. Like this right here, I don't know what it is about this one. Not only is the purple a little harder to get to be even, like it's a little bit patchy, you can make it work, especially if you're going to do like a cut crease action, because a lot of the times the messy part of it is in the crease. So if you're covering up with the shimmer, you're going to be fine. But what I find is whether I use the brush tip applicator or even a brush to apply the shimmer, like I feel like I'm a little patchy and uneven, and it does start to flake. I don't know why, but it does. It's not so bad with hot sauce. Usually with that one, by the end of the day, it's a little bit flaky, but it's not bad at all. This one, the nude one, is the best as far as the shimmer goes. It just does not come off the same way. I'm not sure why the nude sparkle holds up the best, but it does. As far as the mattes, once you get those on, like they're not going anywhere. I had no issues with fading. They didn't move. They didn't go anywhere through the day. It's just the sparkle. I did try the hot sauce color on my lid all over as a matte. It was very, very pretty, but I can see it being a little patchy for some people. The purple, it's real patchy whenever you try to put it all over the lid. So these are very hit and miss. These aren't terrible, but they're not amazing either. I would say skip the purple one altogether. During this look, it drove me crazy. I didn't know what was going on. You could see on this side I used the 242 from MAC to apply it. I did the same thing over here, and you have to keep a thin layer with this because if it goes too thick, it really crumbles. And it just was not staying, so I was having to like wipe it off and then try to put it on with my finger, and then I was trying to put it on with the brush with this, and it is just a little bit funky. I like the matte part of my eye look more than I do the shimmery part on my lid. Another thing I want to mention with these are the shimmer size. You want to make sure they dry before you look up, especially if you have like I have a deep set eye, and when I looked up in the demos, it transferred immediately, and that was kind of frustrating to me. So be careful with that. It's fine after it's dry, but you want to make sure that it is dry. So for my thoughts on these, I don't think they're a complete miss, but I don't think that they are a hit either. To be completely honest with you, I'm probably not going to pick these up again. I might play around with this one again, the hot sauce and cherry soda, but I don't know. I think it's much easier just to go in with your matte shadows and then go in with like one of the Stila products, but that's just my opinion. I hope that this was helpful for you guys and helped you make your decision whether or not you wanted to purchase or try any of these out. If you did, please let me know down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.